All right, good evening, and Yasher Koyach for joining again as we continue to learn Torah. If you have any dreidels around, it's a good idea to have a dreidel ready in case, but as we continue to learn Torah in our houses. All right, actually Torah is best learned in the house, that's the truth, as we infuse our house with Kedusha, and we make our spouses proud by learning in front of them, and a person should take this time as a time of growth. Okay, so now we discussed that a person has to get rid of his chametz. There's three ways to get rid of your chametz called tashbisu. Tashbisu means to get rid of your chametz. One is through selling it. One is through being mevatel. There's going to be a special thing to say. You'll see it in your Haggadahs, a special thing to say on Erev Pesach. And one is that's bittel, and then is beer, which is first you check the house, you do a bedika, and then you burn the chametz. So you have three different ways. Why are three ways required? Well, because some people don't like the sale of chametz. So that's why relying on the sale itself is not great. Now, many people don't like to throw out thousands of dollars of schnapps and things like that. So therefore, we do have we do rely on it, but since there are people who don't like it, and therefore you're not going to be mekayim the mitzvah of tashbisu based on them, so therefore, which is getting rid of your chametz, therefore we mandate, good word these days, therefore we mandate that you go ahead and you have the other two ways of getting rid of it as well. Number two is bittel. You recite that thing that any chametz I have is like nothing. I don't care for it. It's a Cheerio, it's just garbage. So therefore, that is another method of getting rid of chametz. You effectively destroyed it by saying, I don't care for it. Now, why isn't that a valid method? The answer is because next time you have somebody go ahead and look at your schnapps things, and there's a $250 bottle over there, don't tell me that it's nothing. So give it to me. So the Maisa, there is people, since we're not sure you really meant it, if you have thousands of cereal boxes, we're not sure that you really meant it, therefore we require, so bittel works, but it's not perfect. And number three, that's why we don't like number two only. And the reason why we don't like number three, which is getting rid of it and searching your house and burning it, physically burning it, is because we're scared that maybe you didn't do such a great search. You know, especially, what are you going to do in quarantine for the next 14 days? I mean, there's got a lot of things to do in your house. You know, there's a lot to do. You have to fix the squeaky wheel, you have to do this, you have to do that. So therefore, you have to go ahead and you can't. That's why we don't like to rely on the third method, which is bedika and beer. Now, once you do all these three methods, even if you forgot, let's say, a box of Cheerios, you didn't do, you're not, again, it's prohibited to eat chametz, it's prohibited to gain benefit from chametz, and it's prohibited to own chametz. But if you sold all your chametz, or you did bittel, you said, man, it means nothing to me, even if you didn't do such a good bedika, you're still not going to be violating any avera, because no matter what happens, let's say you did forget a box of Cheerios, or you did forget your schnapps or whatever, you don't have to worry about it, because you sold all your chametz, and we do rely on that. We will discuss maybe if we have shirim on Pesach, hopefully we'll be back in shul then, what would it be if you find chametz in the street? Because if you just pick up chametz, you can't even own it. Forget having enough of it. Let's say you find the wafer bar in the street. So you pick it up because you want to throw it out. You don't want a little kid to find it. As soon as you pick it up, you are kind of it, because that's an act of kinyan. And even though you don't eat it and you're not having enough from it, if your job is to go throw it out, that's your intention, it doesn't matter that's your intention, because you did an act of kinyan. And therefore, it's prohibited to pick it up. The best idea would be to just step on it and destroy it in its place without actually making a kinyan on it. Because if you pick it up, then you're making a kinyan. You're going to violate that issur of owning chametz. Okay, and with regards to getting enjoyment from chametz, that's also prohibited, even if you don't own it. So let's say, for example, you find, you want to feed a dog the wafer. So you kick it towards the dog. A person gets a specific benefit by letting birds feed him. I mean, that's what old people do all day long. They sit on their benches and they throw things to the birds. Why do they do that? Because there's a benefit from giving birds and animals things to eat. So you can't do that. You can't get enough from chametz. What happens passing by a bakery and taking a deep sniff of some good, or a pizza store? It doesn't say, you're not allowed to do that. It says, thou shalt not sniff. Okay, it doesn't say that, but it does. It actually does. You're not allowed to get hana from these type of things. So those are. With regards to pets, we spoke about that you have to get a specific kosher lepesach pet food. Even if a person wants to give his pet to a kennel, he still has to go ahead and mandate with them that they don't feed them non-kosher stuff. Chametz stuff. Anyways, okay. Again, have a great Shavua and a great Shabbos, and maybe we'll put on a message before Shabbos. Have a great one.